The California wildfires are already the deadliest we've seen in California. Right now, climate change is creating the perfect conditions for these kind of fires. Extended dry seasons, higher temperatures, and those kind of wildfires aren't just happening in California. In the Mediterranean, for example, in the past couple of years, we've seen devastating wildfires. In Greece, just this summer, there were over 90 people that died. And last summer in Portugal and Spain, we saw fires that killed over 60 people. Another impact, getting more intense, more frequent, are heat waves. In Europe, they experienced a massive heat wave this summer. This is just one of several they've experienced over the past couple of decades. And those heat waves, they also impact livelihoods. So think about, for example, in sub-Saharan Africa, often the poorest are on the front lines when it comes to climate change. If the place where you live becomes too dry, too wet, too hot, you're going to move. One of the drivers of the Syrian refugee crisis was an extended drought in the early 2010s. Another impact is coral bleaching. In the Great Barrier Reef, they've already experienced a 30% reduction, either because the water has become warmer or also because the ocean is becoming slightly more acidic. And we're expecting, if warming continues as it is, to lose anywhere from 70 to over 99% of the world's coral reefs by the end of this century. Up in Greenland and the Arctic, it's warming about 2 to 3 times faster than the rest of the planet. Sea ice is depleting by about 10%. As the ocean becomes warmer, the atmosphere can capture more moisture, and hurricanes and typhoons can become more powerful and devastating. Closer to home, Hurricane Harvey, record rainfall was 3 times more likely as a result of climate change. In New York, Hurricane Sandy back in 2012, the storm surge there was 27 square miles bigger than it would have been back in 1880 because sea level has risen 8 inches. So this all looks pretty dire. And the latest report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change suggests that we need to reduce our emissions by half by 2030 and get to 0 emissions by 2050. Many countries are taking the lead. China, even though it's the biggest emitter of greenhouse gases, they're also the biggest producers of solar and wind power. The Paris Climate Agreement, all those parties meet again in 2020 to up their ambition. Now, yes, the United States pulled out last year, but that doesn't take effect for another couple of years. So there's still a chance that the United States might stay in the Paris Climate Agreement. You can also take individual action, anything from taking more public transport to reducing your meat consumption, changing your light bulb, or perhaps even more importantly, just talking to your friends and family. Because when people hear about these issues from people that they trust, they're much more likely to take these kind of things seriously.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.